realize Renans oppress their own kind, too.
And yet, weirdly, none of them seem to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Even so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Dahnan city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still too early to say anything for sure.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed. I say we hold off judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
And what skill would this be, pray tell?
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
I do. It's called friendly intimidation. Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it! How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
Now you've got me curious. Is there special training to master?
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm just helping them along.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do. I mean, there's sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dana.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now. Balsif, Ganabelt, Almadria, and Volron. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegis. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
Yes! Yes!
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
What? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ganabelt was so horrible to people. Yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed, the effects of Lenegis's transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
Pardon me.
Guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right, too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Okay. Ah!
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganath Harrows changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too. Balsif and the others, they all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Rinwell.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Being a Danon doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Shion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a fellow human being above all else.
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfrikt Milgras, the former Lord of Cyslodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfrikt whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegis?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the Sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegis from the Motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renin by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Doe?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait, don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still...
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
place is beautiful!
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renin sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnagin. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnagin. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagin and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagin and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagin had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagin was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less. She would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty, instead I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renin oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Xion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen,
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Did we really just spend that much money?
Damn it! Lenegis soldiers!
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to...
I am Lord Dohalim of Helden Menethia. I command you.
The rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one. I'm not done! Lightning thrust! You're mine! The enemy wields arc too.
We'll soon see about that!
Its arm is too strong. Split it open! Be my guest. Take this, try harder! My turn!
Wailing bounty lightning!
Take this! Dragon Swarm!
Hurricane Punch! Lightning!
Damn it,
Glacial Fire! Sleep now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Illuminate the dark!
Your armor won't save you!
Like deal?
Make it rain! Get toasty!
Burn strike! Not a chance!
Lightning orb! Do it!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us. Right, here goes!
Take this!
Here I come! I'm not done!
Going in. These ones can run rings around us. In here. Here's evil. I'll be saving this one. Freeze Laser.
Here I come!
Leave the ensnaring to me. Yeah? And pummel it to me!
Do it. Kisara, frozen.
Hammer!
Not a chance! No escape! Soaring Light Spear!
Can't get out of this!
Dragon Swarm!
Tiger Blade.
Be still! Soaring Light Spear! You're on!
Illuminate the dark.
Here I come!
Down.
You're on! Sword Rain Alpha! We did it!
Look sharp!
Dragon Swarm!
Going in!
By the power of water. I wonder if we can make new weapons with this.
Right, here goes! Strike!
On guard!
Take this! No escape!
I think I'll pass on the hand.
I'm not...
This one's mine!
Here.
Here I come!
How about
Dragon
this?
Swarm!
Hurricane Strike! Glacial Spear! This one's
Sword Rain
mine!
Alpha!
Freeze Laser.
Take this!
Change between
Dragon
This
Swarm!
one's mine!
Unveiling Banshee of
Dragon Swarm!
On guard!
Here's evil.
Inferno
Here I come!
This one's mine!
Dragon Swarm!
In a bind?
Lunar corruption.
I have no limits!
By the
Dragon Swarm!
Lightning
in.
Dazzle! Rising Phoenix! Take this!
Going in!
Strike!
Here, let me help!
Raging Storm.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Blaze Rock Fire!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Here I come! Dragon Swarm! Not today! Take it! Dragon Swarm! Sword Rain Alpha!
Piercing roar!
Dragon Dragon
Fire!
Dragon Swarm! Try harder! Dragon Swarm! Take it! I'm not done!
Now we're not...
This one's mine!
Dragon Swarm!
Sleep now.
Try harder!
Here, let me
Not a
help!
chance! Dragon
This
Swarm!
one's mine!
Try harder! Dragon Swarm!
Thanks, Kisara.
Dragon Swarm!
Look sharp! Curveball!
Lightning orb!
It's
Where
time!
that came from?
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Dragon Swarm! Take it! Try harder! Not a chance! I'm not done! Dragon Swarm! Try harder! Not a chance! Lightning Thrust! Soaring Sphere!
Xion, astral energy! Full throttle!
Everyone's still in one piece?
Little help!
In a bind?
Thanks so much!
Ignite! Take down their defenses! Bring them down! Dragon Swarm!
Going in! Astral lightning down!
Their arcs were interrupted!
Hurricane
This one's mine!
Stardust!
Fire support!
That's my cue!
It's over! Shut him down! Here I come!
Piercing roar!
Dragon Swarm!
This one's
Soaring
mine!
Alpha! Be still! Soaring Light Sphere! Mirage! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
By the power of rage, finish with
Yes! Dragon Swarm! Sword Rain Alpha!
Dohalim!
All yours, Kisara!
glacial spear.
You're mine! Dragon Swarm! Sword Rain Alpha! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Now! Here I come! No escape!
Order won't save you! This one's
Dragon
mine!
Swarm!
Holy wind!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Between heaven and
Dragon
earth.
Make it
Swarm!
rain!
Frozen.
Hammer!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
Gotta break through!
You've got the spirit!
Can't get out of this!
Hurricane Strike! This one's
Dragon
mine!
Swarm! Sword Rain Alpha!
So much for talking it out!
Cave between heaven and earth.
Try harder! No, you can't! It's too fast!
Stand back! I'll trip it up.
You're mine!
Here!
Sword Rain Alpha! Dragon Swarm!
This one's mine!
More by the power of
No escape! Dragon Swarm!
In here! Do it! Astral energy!
Say no more! Not a chance! Dragon Swarm!
Power of flame!
Sword Rain Alpha! Dragon
Now!
Swarm!
Bridwell!
Frozen.
Hammer! I feel sprightlier than before.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Right, here goes! My turn!
Illuminate the dark!
Take this! Dragon Swarm! Time to Arc Blade! Take this! No escape! Here I come! Dragon Swarm! Dragon Swarm! This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for.
Dragon
Get
Swarm!
behind me.
Got it! Leave it to you! Dragon Swarm! Be still! Take this! Strike!
On guard.
Dragon Swarm! Take this! I'm not done!
Piercing wall.
Here's a healer!
You're finished!
Look sharp.
Dragon Swarm!
This one's mine.
Sword Rain Alpha! Dragon Swarm!
Nothing gets by me.
Burn it out!
Going in.
Strike! Dragon Swarm!
Look sharp. Go here.
Illuminate the dark!
Try harder! Now! Take this!
Look sharp.
Strike!
On guard.
Take this! Now! Move it!
Now you've gone and ticked me off.
Illuminate the dark!
I'm not done!
Far enough.
You're mine! Strike!
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare to Malisa.
I'm not done! Take this! Strike! Dragon Swarm! Here I come! Can't move!
You have to hold on. Going in. Glacial fire. Going in.
Take this!
Leave the torches to me.
Dazzle! Rising Phoenix! You're mine! I'm not done!
Far enough.
All mine! Here I come! Strike! Eat this! I owe you one! You're finished! Dragon Swarm!
This one's mine.
Now!
Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
A hard-won victory.
We seem to have come across something a little unusual.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Can't get out of stop!
This one's mine.
They really don't give up, do they? Sleep now. I'll be safe.
Dragon Swarm! Try harder! No chance! No escape! Dragon Swarm! Dazzle! Soaring Light Spear! Come on! No escape! The flame inside me yearns to be lit up! Dragon Swarm! Nothing! In an instant! Impact Block! My turn!
The earth throbs in pain.
Engage! I'm not done! It's over! Transform! Listen! No further!
Going in. Here, I'll be saving you. Now, go for it.
Prepare to crumble.
My turn! Dragon Swarm! Coming through! Ha! No! Scarlet and...
I feel the power flowing through me.
You'll be able to help even more people now.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I will.
I'll do my best!
Fight! You want egg?
Now you see what I can do!
Like deal? You're mine!
I can read your moves like a book!
Oh my lord! Dragon Claw! Dragon Claw! Dragon
In a bind?
I'll heal you all!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malisa!
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! No! Here I come! Dragon Swarm!
I'm gone!
Huh? You picked the wrong fight! Dragon Swarm!
Do it! Shining Supernova!
Well, am I improving?
Tremendously. The speed and precision of your aim is simply unmatched.
I had no idea you were watching me so closely.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the...
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Dahnan. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for. Let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imeris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Danon astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegis. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.